Fenix, where do we have him?
Let's see. So Fenix is probably going to not want to use Angry Zealot Go Burr. He can. You can. It is an option. If you do, I would recommend P3, not P2.
Yeah.
The reason being, of course, because as you may recall, P3 not only gives you a 75% refund on all the champions who aren't Keldalis, but it gives an 100% refund on Keldalis because someone at Blizzard can't do math. As a result, you can just send literally as many Angry Zealots at the problem as you want because they are quite literally free if you are using P3.
Send Angry everything.
So there are two options to approach double-edged, and those are Adepts or Carriers. So basically the same way that pre-Prestige Fenix approached everything in life, Adepts or Carriers. Even though Keldalis actually was strong back then, we just hadn't realized that yet.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, I would generally say probably just go for the carriers. The only reason to need to go Adepts would be for other mutators that cause problems, but the carriers can run into some problems with mutually assured destruction. So if you do, I don't know how much trouble that's going to cause the carriers. I think that I would probably, if I wanted to be like extra safe, I would just use Adepts. But if you could try carriers as well. I'd have to defer to Twotuuu whether carriers will work or not. Yeah, it's quite simple, really. You just go P3, slam an Angry Zealot and a ball of Adepts, or an Angry Zealot and a ball of carriers into the problem. Dodge nukes. You'll be okay. It's not amazing. It's not terrible. Your top bar, like your Fenix suits, are just single-use cooldowns that will delete themselves, but that's okay, except the Arbiter, which is still useful support. The Arbiter is great on this map because the Amon sends relatively little detection of the trains, so if you just stasis the detection and then cloak your army, the enemy just doesn't shoot back anymore, so you can fight the entire train escort without taking any damage whatsoever, which is amazing.
It is. Letter.
Probably B.
What do you say, Twotuuu?
I think Fenix is not good for this one. Not because of double edge. Double edge carriers is a great solution. However, going nuclear plus mutually assured destruction means that if you don't pay attention, you lose your interceptors. They take so long to rebuild. The interceptors take extremely long to rebuild. And if you're like focusing fire a hybrid, then or if it's the last one, all your interceptors will die. And you cannot let that happen. So how you do that is you have to manually target a different thing so the interceptors fly away. Yeah. Which means you have to pay attention to the life bars of everything around you, because and nukes. So if you don't pay attention, a hybrid nuke is going to destroy your interceptors, and you're going to spend a long time rebuilding and you're going to deal very little. This run took me like a long time. It took me many tries because of this. I didn't realize that was happening because I didn't pay attention. Then I had to start paying attention, and it became a little easier. But the moment I'm like busy one side fighting and then a wave is coming from the other side, then I don't pay attention. I got nuked, or like something hit me. So it's just like you have to be paying attention the whole time, not only to the enemies, which ones can hit you, but also the HP of the hybrids around you and what you want to target next. So I put Fenix in D.
Ooh, rough.
Because especially since the interceptors, they gather together to fight something, and if you gather together to fight a hybrid and it blows up, you lose everything, and you're gonna deal nothing, like close to 0 damage for a while.
So how about the avenging protocol strategy, where you just ram champions into the wave repeatedly and get refunded?
I don't like. You get money, you get your money back, but you don't get your time back, and you need tons of gateways to support that. And I don't think that's a good idea, especially since he kills himself faster. He's killing himself and you don't get as much life. So
add other champions in there? How about you add the other champions in there?
I basically used Keldalis Talus for hybrid, like the stray hybrid that come to my base. I just have a hotkey for those two just to finish off hybrid, so I don't have to use interceptors.
Oh wow.
If I
So,
use
So, yeah,
interceptors, I will
okay,
shoot my own
basically-
buildings.
Take back everything I said about carriers being an option, basically. Just cut that all out. Yeah, basically, I just
thank you,
didn't think
Zeus.
hard enough about the nuke-related mutators here. Just use adepts. I
Thank
can
you,
say
Zeus.
I have multiple times fought double-edged diffusion with Fenix, and I've used P3 Fenix, just mass adept with Caldelis, just joining because why not? And it works fine.
All right.
Adepts work fine. You do not need carriers, and yeah, I have to agree. I've used carriers against mutually assured destruction. I don't know why I thought that would be okay. It's really not. It's really not.
So,
I would recommend just mass adept, just straight mass adept with Caldelis there to give some splash damage for free.
are you?
But if you, yeah, like literally, the only reason it's even worth using Caldelis is because if you put Caldelis in the control group, and you're using a control group, if you're using a control group instead of F2, then all you have to do is put Caldelis in the control group with all your adepts, and then you can just warp in some zealot shells back home and let them just exist every time Caldelis dies. One of those shells will become Caldelis and automatically be selected to the control group and join the adepts again. And just slam adepts into everything. Just use entirely mass adept. Useful thing about P3 Talus, because she has like 2 range, she will always shove herself in front. She will always die first, which means that you can lose tons of adepts. Most of those adept deaths will be Talus, and Talus costs about as much as a Zergling to replace. So you can lose huge amounts of adepts and still be fine financially. And Talus will constantly have max stacked avenging protocol, and she actually can benefit from that because she doesn't run into an attack speed cap the way Caldelis does. So she can just fling glaives like a machine gun. So
Letter.
I think that it's actually I think that D tier is really too harsh because I believe that adepts should be able to do better than that. But I can't say for certain because I haven't done this mutation specifically. I've only done other maps and other mutations with mass adepts against double-edged. So I'd be okay seeing him in like C tier for now, just because like I know adepts work against double-edged.
What do you
I know
think?
that adepts can work against trains. I don't know how easily adepts can handle both at the same time.
Yeah.
I know it's
sounds
possible,
rough.
obviously, but I'm not sure how easy that would be, or if that would actually be something that would be quite a difficult solo that would take me several tries.
What do you think, Twotuuu?
I think the depth strategy is good. I don't have a problem with that. I just don't think it has enough DPS for trains. It can kill the enemy waves just fine, I think, and you don't worry about any the mutually assured destruction explosions, and you can walk away from nukes or teleport away with Arbiter Suit.
Arbiter Suit, yeah.
But I don't think it can deal enough damage to trains.
So, quick question. For your carriers, were you using Talus to mark a train car to take bonus damage before hitting it with your interceptors?
No, I was only flying.
Okay.
Because all my ground units are sitting at home waiting to finish off hybrid that come to my base.
Okay. So, with that, I believe I'd like to double check the numbers on this, but I believe adepts are actually comparable DPS per supply to a carrier with full interceptors if you haven't marked it with the train cart with Talus.
Okay, so for now, do you put Fenix in C or D?
I think C is fine. I'm not certain about the train DPS, but against the army,
the train whacking power. All right, let's put him C for now and see whether he moves later.
Okay, so first, this is the interjection for Fenix. I just looked up the numbers. Yeah, and a single adept, if we assume that both have +3 upgrades against the trains, a single adept has slightly less DPS than a single entire carrier with full interceptors against the train.
That's big.
Adepts,
2 supply.
Fenix adepts are pretty good.
Versus 6 supply.
2 supply, it has almost as much DPS as your 6 supply carrier.
That's massive.
Adepts can kill trains decently fast.
Even with +3?
If both have +3, the adept is looking at somewhere around 29 DPS, and the carrier is looking at somewhere around 32.
Well, the adepts, the shades don't kill themselves, but what about the adepts themselves?
The Adepts themselves would be able to kill themselves. It would take a good long while, though.
Oh.
So you would have to make sure. It would again have the same problem of if your Adepts start to get low, you'll want to be careful and have them start like
running back,
pacing around for a few seconds, stop firing. But it will take the Adepts about see if I'm looking at this right. It'll take the Adepts about 20 seconds of firing at the train, maybe a little less, more like 15 seconds would be like at the lowest 15, at the fastest they'll take 15 seconds to kill themselves against the train.
Okay.
And even if you stop firing with the Adepts because they're killing themselves, the Shades will keep firing and the Shades don't kill themselves.
Okay. So yeah, that doesn't move the needle for Fenix, right? He's still C.
Yeah, he's still C until like I test the Adept strategy and find out that potentially it's really hard. Potentially I find out, oh wow, that was a cakewalk. I didn't expect that to be so easy.
Okay. Guys, this is the end of the clip. I will link in the description the rest of the tier list, so do watch that. I will see you guys next time.